Hi, welcome again to Owner Resources with Ledgeview Commercial. On this video, I'm going to interview two of our awesome office staff that work. We're going to talk a little bit about our full property management umbrella when we're talking about the level of service that these ladies are providing for our owners. We do offer a hybrid contract, a maintenance only contract, so you can learn a little bit more about maybe what might be applicable if you are not on our full service model. But we're going to talk a little bit about what that looks like from our full service property management contracts with our owners and our clients, and what we do for you so that you can kind of just, take a breath, relax, and know that we have it under control. So if you'd like to introduce yourself, starting with Sara.
Hi, I'm Sara Lachance. I'm your Leasing Operations Agent.
And I'm Emily Jackson. I'm the Administrative Assistant.
And I definitely didn't introduce myself. I'm Brittany Ping. I'm your Director of Property Management. I want to talk to you a little bit about what these women do in regards to our maintenance processes and how we help you uphold your lease at your properties without you really having to do anything but trust us. So Emily, tell me a little bit about maintenance, what you do for our maintenance team, including working with vendors.
Yeah, so if I receive a call from a tenant who has a maintenance concern, I would go ahead and put in a work order for them, but remind them about our 24-hour maintenance line, just in case it was an emergency. They're not holding off to let us know when office hours are here. I would go ahead and reassure them and coordinate a date for them to have maintenance come in and address the concern. Another way we would receive them is if a tenant put it in via a portal or called the maintenance line, I would receive a work order. I would reach out to them and coordinate that time via text message or phone call. And we work them first in, first out, unless it is an emergency.
Awesome. And how much does an owner have in regards to the communication with what you're doing from the maintenance side?
Great question.
What can an owner expect?
So, if it comes to a point where I have to pull in a vendor, I will let the owner know if it's over $500 or it is an emergency. When we're pulling in a vendor, we always do use our trusted vendors who we've been working with for more than a year now. And the owner always does have the option to let us know once given that estimate, if it is over $500, that they don't want to work with that vendor and they'd like another estimate.
Awesome. And then one of the other things that we get, a lot of calls that we get in, are other problems with our tenants. So Sara, tell us a little bit more about our resident complaint policy, how you handle when a tenant does have a complaint outside of the maintenance scope.
Certainly. So neighborly issues are to be expected when you live in a multifamily property. What we've done is create a comprehensive complaint policy, for all of our tenants that we can share with them so they know what to expect and how we will address their concerns. So the first, probably one of the biggest complaints we receive is about noise violations. I can hear my neighbor's music. I shouldn't be able to hear my neighbor's music from outside. The first thing that we do, is we receive a call about it. And we listen to them, hear them out, understand where they're coming from. And then what we'll do is ask them to provide that information in writing. A lot of the times residents don't really want to follow up in writing unless they really are escalated. And that's where the next piece of our process comes into play. Once we receive a written complaint, Emily and I will review the resident who the complaint was about, their resident profile, check to see if there's any history of noise violations or complaints from or to the apartment, and move forward from there by viewing the lease terms and determining if there was a lease violation that would be able to be issued.
Awesome. And so when we're talking about, your leasing operations, so literally what you're doing is you're making sure that these leases are enforced for the owners.
Absolutely.
When would you pull in an owner when we're talking about this lease enforcement?
So we would pull in an owner when it became escalated at the property, right? So luckily, I think we've only had 2 or 3 since I've started here that we've really had to bring in the owner for escalated situations that were outside of really anybody's control. At the point where lease violations would be issued in writing, we would communicate to the residents, this is the lease term that you've violated on this date, and then continue to follow up from there. If the residents are experiencing issues where there's continued calls to service with Manchester Police Department, continued concerns for health and safety for a resident or the neighbors of the property, it needs to be escalated to the courts. We would bring in the owner at that point to notify them these are the steps that we're taking to further protect your property.
Awesome. So this is our best practice, right?
Yes.
So do we, Emily and Sarah, I guess I'm gonna ask you, do we have owners that want a much higher point of contact with you than what you just told me?
Yes.
do you
Absolutely.
have owners that want a lot less point of contact than what you just told me?
We do.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have owners that really are the full scope. We have residents who have, we've been able to build trust with them and just really show them you don't need to hear from us unless you want to. And we have residents, owners rather new with Ledgeview who haven't worked with us and that we're still building that trust and they want to hear these updates. I have owners that I communicate with daily. I have some that I communicate with just on these things, and then some that just contact me when they want.
Awesome. So, we act in your best interest. That is what we are contracted to do. And that is what we ensure that we do with the things that Emily and Sarah just described to you. And as always, we're not a cookie cutter brokerage. You can let us know what your preferences are, when you want to be alerted, how often you want to be alerted, and the things that maybe we built that trust. And we're just really pulling you in at the last minute of the decisions, or, when it is required, because we can't take action on your behalf. So I hope that you found this video really useful. Let us know if you have any questions. We do have a full owner resources playlist where you might find some of those questions answered. That's at tinyurl.com/owner resources. Thank you so much, Emily and Sarah, for doing this interview with me. And I hope you have a great day.